All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, all across the globe, this is another edition of Power Connections with Dr. Kevin Vaughan. We're here to bring you some powerful people. And I've got another powerful guest today, guys, from up north there, a little north of the United States. I love it. Raschell Harlingten. How are you today, madam?
I am amazing. Thank you so much for having
Yes.
me today.
Yes,
Very
you are
excited.
amazing. You are amazing. You are unique. You are beautiful, and you are needed. So we need your help today, probably for some reason. I know today for sure. So thank you so much for being with us today. Hey guys, if you don't know about Power Connections, we bring in powerful people like Raschell Harlingten to talk about what she does. I'm gonna read her bio a little later on, so you guys can get to know her and get to understand what we are here for today. But guys, we are excited about Raschell being with us. One of my, well, actually probably two or three people I know in Canada, but we're just excited about her being added to the family. You're part of the
Thank
family
you.
now, Sister Raschell. Thank you so much for being with us today. Well, with that said, we want to know, first of all, how are you doing today, Raschell? We're going to ask you how you doing.
I am amazing. The sun is shining. I'm alive, and
Yes.
I got up this morning, so it's a good day.
Amen. And your health is looking good as well. That means you're healthy. That's great. Well, Raschell, we always give our guests on the network some opening comments. As you know, there's a lot going on our wonderful planet.
Mhm.
And anything you want to share just for motivation, encouragement, anything from your wonderful mind and heart today before we get started. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So I'd like to share with your listeners to definitely understand that your story
Yeah.
is important to you.
Hmm.
But understand that your story is not always all about you. It could be a little bit of, social media. It could be your parents. It could be peers. It could be friends,
Yeah.
whoever. And you can change that story at any time. So understand sometimes our story is important, but we can tweak it a little bit to make it a better feeling story. Because when you start to realize that the power is within you to create everything around you, that's when you become very powerful in who you are.
Oh man, that's good right there, Raschell. I like that. You know what I wrote down while you was talking? I'm always taking notes. We're talking about experiences, Raschell.
Hmm.
Every day is an experience.
Yes, it is.
And sometimes we just think it routine, but no, it's an experience. It may be sound, it may look like it's routine, going to work every day, going to business, but it's an experience. And the other area I love is moments. Raschell, you
Hmm.
gotta capture the moments. Can you talk a little bit just before we get started about capturing the moments, enjoying the moments with family, friends? Sometimes it may be just yourself, whatever. You talk a little
Yeah,
about moments.
absolutely. I think that is huge, Kevin,
Yes, it
because,
is.
I've had a lot of trials and tribulations in my life, but I will tell you something I learned in 2021
Yeah.
is that the present moment is all you have. The
Yes.
past is gone. The future is not created yet.
Right.
Be present in the moment with who
Yeah.
you're present with, whether it's friends, whether it's
Yeah.
family,
Yeah.
whoever,
Yeah.
because that is so important because
Yeah.
you'll never have that moment again, ever.
Nope.
It's gone.
Absolutely.
So
Everything
really
we
embrace it.
love it. Everything we just said 5 seconds ago is history. We cannot repeat none of that.
No.
We got people moving, cars moving. We cannot repeat everything that's going around us that we don't even see. So, guys, we cherish the time. In fact, I cherish the time, Raschell Harlingten, with you right now on the network, because this is so important, I believe, because of who you are and who I am. We are people. We are human beings. And believe me, we are connected, believe me, ladies and gentlemen, whether you believe it or not. I don't care what part of the world you're on. We are connected as humanity, if you will. So thank you so much, Raschell Harlingten,
Yeah.
for being with us today. I love it. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, this is Power Connections with Kevin Vaughan. Hey, I'm going to read a little bit about this wonderful person here. One of the things I got from her website is she's a transformational mentor to design your business, your life, and your relationships. And she does a great job at that. But Raschell Harlingten, ladies and gentlemen, is a woman who chooses power, personal power, faith, and hope to grant her resilience and strength in life. Born in England, oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, she's born in England. Rachelle's family began when she was just 4 years old, traveling to where her father's work took them. Amen. Wonderful parents. However, through those experiences, Raschell learned to adapt at a young age to differing cultures. Oh, I love it. Customs and schools. And believe me, I'm sure that helped shape her today as we go along here.
Yes.
By the time she was 15, ladies and gentlemen, she had traveled to Africa. Oh, wow. New Zealand, one of my favorite. I want to go to New Zealand so bad. I got to work on that, Raschell. We got to go to New Zealand. I just love the land. Switzerland for sure. I was looking at some stuff from Switzerland yesterday. Oh, you've been to Switzerland? Oh,
Yes.
oh, that's a beautiful country. And you know that's God's country, man.
Yes, it is.
About it. And Canada as well. Canada is so beautiful as well, ladies and gentlemen, to name a few. For the years to follow, she began to reject norms imposed on her. Her journey was not an easy one, filled with despair, frustration, lack of self-worth. At 39, sounds familiar on my end as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we all got a little commonality here going on.
Yeah.
At 39 years old, she walked away from her abusive relationship with 2 small children in tow. So glad you made that decision to walk away. And alone, scared and feeling hopeless, she began her journey to recreate her life, ladies and gentlemen. In 2011, Raschell walked away from a corporate job with no idea on how she was going to survive, let her alone feed her children. Man, that is called superhero stuff there. That is superhero stuff when you just, something's got to change. And she just said, we're going to make it. That same year, she developed her prosperous entrepreneurial business. I love it, which thrives to this date. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
In 2017, she founded her second business, a personal development organization, Roots for Success, that helps individuals build strength and success. I want to stop here because the very thing that we need, we got to give away. I found that out. That's why you start businesses, man. The very thing you're looking for, start a business in that area, guys. And believe me, you'll help somebody else in the process. She has also earned her credentials in transformational coach and speaker, and as a real estate investor as well. As a certified subconscious release coach at Reiki, is that Reiki?
Reiki.
Reiki practitioner, Raschell's passion is to support women and entrepreneurs worldwide, setting them on a positive and powerful course of professional transformation that is critical to yielding success in the business life as well, and in life, ladies and gentlemen. As a single mom, beautiful mom with 2 children, she holds the empowerment of youth dear to her heart. Amen. Amen. Together with partners, Raschell co-founded the workshop 4 Seasons of Entrepreneurship. Amen. We just talked about seasons earlier, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
There, we got to go through some seasons, folks. I love it. When she spoke on the stages in Toronto and the U.S. Along renowned biohacker, Ben Greenfield and Raymond Aaron, authors of Chicken Soup for the Soul. Whoa, congratulations on that one. And others supporting, because we know Chicken Soup for the Soul is a worldwide. Everybody loves chicken pretty much. And soup. I love it. That's one of my favorite meals, guy. I digress. Soup. I love soups as well. I love it. And others supporting entrepreneurs and personal journeys. Raschell is also featured on several international podcasts. Oh, I love it, including Dreams Are Real, Relationship Rules, and Craving Consciousness. Amen. Raschell, ladies and gentlemen, she has featured on guests on TCN Network, in the Now, and well as several online newspapers such as the World Insiders and the Chicago Daily Herald, and the author of Your Prosperity Blueprint. And oh, I love it. Number one bestseller on the Amazon. Her latest article is The Focus on Fabulous magazine. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen from around the network, welcome, Raschell.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a powerful bio. We could just talk about that all day with you sure as well. I love it. Well, guys, we are excited about Raschell being with us. Hey, one of the things I wrote down over here, guys, is recognizing that the stories we tell, she mentioned earlier, of ourselves create our trajectory and the blueprint for the basis of our life. Wow, that's Raschell Harlingten's signature there, ladies and gentlemen, and also on her website. If you would, Raschell, before we get started, tell people how to get in touch with you too as well. Let's take them to the website too as well.
Absolutely. So on most platforms, you can find me at Raschell Harlingten on Facebook and LinkedIn. My website is raschellharlingten.ca. On Instagram, you can find me at Roots for Success Limited. Yeah, I'm pretty much out there. Google me and you'll find me.
Exactly. Yeah, just put her name in there, guys, and you will get her as well. You know, one thing, Raschell, I want to talk about as we get started here. is your mission. What is your mission for your business? Let's talk about that a little bit.
My mission. I actually talked about this the other day, my mission.
I love it.
And I really feel my mission is to really uplift humanity and give
Yeah.
so many people a voice to share their stories.
Yeah.
So that we can really shift the consciousness of the world to a better
Yeah.
place
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think about the word get to know me.
Mhm.
I want to get to know Raschell Harlingten, folks, as a human being. You know what I'm saying? That is so important because you never know what that will bring. I know
Yeah.
sometimes, Sister Harrington, that it brings sometimes peace to people and maybe a little hope.
Mhm.
I cannot understand why people don't talk to anybody all day. It just don't make no sense. Don't want to talk to nobody, don't want to do nothing. They may be working, they may have to talk to people at work, but not to talk and engage with people. And I never understood why somebody said, I hate people. Well, wait a minute, you people. How can you say you hate people when you are people? So
Exactly.
I don't get it. So, but anyway, I digress a little bit, but that is so powerful. So as we talk about the mission, that means you have purpose to help us out a little bit, Raschell.
I guess I do. Yeah. I've always been one of those, like always like to support and lend,
Yeah,
in whatever you're doing. I'm always there.
absolutely. Well, based on what your bio said, you had mentioned that obviously we all go through some stuff. Everybody got their own journey and stuff. How has that shaped you? All the things that you've gone through, how has that shaped you for this time of your business that you can help us out in these areas?
Wow, that's a really great question, Kevin. Um, I would have to say through a
Yeah.
lot of the experiences,
Yeah.
being placed in different cultures, different countries at such a young age, having to adapt,
Mhm.
going through a very abusive relationship has taught me to be very understanding of where people are. You
Mhm.
have to meet people where they are. You can't say, well, you can just get up and, "Well, I did it. Why can't you do it?"
Right,
You
right.
have to meet them where they are and
Yes,
help them take those baby steps because everybody is different. And sometimes you can't always support everybody. Sometimes
right.
you have to, and I know this sounds a little harsh, but you have to leave them where they are and
Yeah.
move on because if people are not willing to take that next step, to make
Yes,
that change in their life,
yes.
then it's not your job to do that. That is up to them. But you
Right.
do have to be sympathetic and understand that everybody's in a different place.
Yes.
And it is up to you, especially as someone who works with people, you
Yeah.
have to meet them where they are and understand that.
Absolutely. Oh man, Raschell, you hit it right on the head. That is it. You got to be patient,
Hmm.
compassionate, understanding. And I believe unless you've gone through some stuff, you won't even get it. You will
Hmm.
you'll push people away. You'll say, well, why can't, like you said, why can't you do it? I did it. It ain't that easy for folks. And that
Right.
could be very detrimental to some people in their mind, because they say, well, wait, if they're not going to help me out, why am I even on the planet? Some people think
Hmm.
about, I don't need to be here no more. They're thinking about suicide. And
Right.
that's why we got to be so careful today, ladies and gentlemen, as we talk to others around the globe. I don't care where you meet them at. It's just that you got to be sensitive that people have their journey, have their season. And that's what Raschell does. It helps us in that area to help us grow in that area. So, Raschell, when you take on a client, what are some of the things that we come to? If I'm your client, what are you asking me? What am I going to receive from you as a client to help me grow and understand what I got to do better on?
Absolutely. That's another great question. So I usually have at least a conversation with you, and
Yeah.
by your verbiage, by what you say, how
Mhm.
you talk, what you talk about most, what you talk about least, I
Yeah.
can kind of determine where you are in your life. And then I ask you, what do you want to see? What
Yeah.
would make you happy? What would give you peace in your life?
Yeah.
And from those answers, we can start to formulate a little bit of as I like, a blueprint as to sort of understanding and recognizing what is not serving you in your life.
Yes.
And once you start to recognize that in your own self for the client is massive. I had a 26-year-old girl say to me for the first time, she goes,
Yeah.
I did not realize how goddamn negative my mind
Right.
was.
Right.
And
Right.
that's huge. But I'm not helping you with that.
Right.
That's
Right.
you're doing that on your own. So it's
Yes.
giving you those steps.
Yeah.
Then we start to rewrite those stories that you're telling yourself. And then we start to realign you with what you want to see in your life.
Mm-hmm.
where that abundance and prosperity is. And I will say this, it's not about the monies. People go, oh,
Right.
well, how can I make more money? You have to be happy where you are first,
Yeah.
with what you have first, before everything else can come into your life. So I give them the tools to make those changes in their
Yeah.
life, and only they can.
Right.
I'm giving you the tools. It's whether or not
Right.
you choose to pick them up and
Right.
use them.
Oh, I
So
love it. Rochelle, you're absolutely right. And ladies and gentlemen, I think most of you know this, but guess what? I can't live your life. Rochelle can't live your life for you. As good as we are, we can't do that. I'm trying to live my own life as best I can. So guys, as you said, we got to, basically, Rochelle, you said we got to grow up.
yes.
We literally have to grow up. And I think we don't tell people that enough, specifically starting at the home, with mom and dad, and then grandma or grandpa or auntie and uncle, whatever. We don't hear it enough. I know as men, we like to hear stuff. Challenge me. Tell me I need to grow up. I heard that before. Somebody said, grow up. I said, okay, I need to grow up. Stop acting like you was, 17 or something, 18, So that's so important. Matter of fact, Rochelle, as you was talking, I was thinking about our young people, and we've got to help them. Man, we got to help them a little bit. Can you please share with us a little bit some of the areas that our young people need to hear from you about, and some of the challenges you think they're having today that you see, and just maybe 2 or 3 areas that our young people need help on today. Would you talk to our young people for a little while, please, as well?
Absolutely. That's a really big subject. As a
Yeah.
mother of 2,
Yes.
I have an 18 and a 23-year-old.
Yes.
The one thing that I can share, and I was actually a lot of parents went against me on the couple of these things. So the
Yeah.
first thing I'm going to share with you is that you have to have an open conversation with your children.
There you go.
And that means if your child comes to you and says, I did this, this, and this, you cannot fly off the handle and lose it on them, because the minute you do that, you shut the door and they will no longer come to you anymore. They will go elsewhere looking for someone to support them. So that's the biggest. As much as you want to freak out and lose it, you
Yeah.
have to listen to what they're saying. And then the second thing I would like to say is you have to sort of put it back onto them and say, well, you made this choice in what you chose to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now, how are you going to resolve this problem?
Yeah.
Or how are you going to make this work? And let them think about it. Hand the ball back to them to
Mm-hmm.
give them the power to be able to make those choices themselves. Because you're not helping them if you're giving them the answers
Right.
at all.
Right.
You're helping them by handing the ball back to them and saying, what do you think? How do you think this can work?
Yeah.
And listen to them. And
Mm-hmm.
keep that open dialogue, because
Yeah.
that is the most important thing.
Yes.
And I think finally, I would say, for me, no matter what my children have done, no matter what choices
Right.
they have made,
Right.
I have always been supportive and said, I support you whatever you do, as long
Mhm.
as you're not hurting anybody.
Right.
But as long as I will be there for you, and have that open conversation. And I've said to them, if there's something that I'm sharing with you or something I'm telling you as a parent that you do not resonate with, then say to me, hey, mom, you know what? Like, I don't really vibe with that, or I don't get that.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, let's find a middle ground then. Because remember, we come from a different generation, and
Right.
we're trying to instill something in our
Right.
children, and they're changing.
Right.
Again, it's that open conversation and giving them the opportunity to speak.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
I think for me, I still to this day, when my children have issues, I'm
Yeah.
the first one they come to,
Yes.
because they know I'm going to sit and go, okay, all
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
how are we going to fix this?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I love what a brilliant, brilliant answer there on that area, Rochelle. I understand why you're in this business now. But she mentioned a couple of things, guys. Communication is so important. We've got to learn to communicate with our children. We're talking about teenagers right now. We're going to talk about men and women in a little bit here as well with Rochelle. Guys, we got to learn to communicate. That means listening to them, not talking at them. We got to hear from their wonderful minds, their wonderful brains. We got to understand what they're thinking about, so we as moms and dads can, be able to help them in that area. Because one thing we cannot do, Rochelle, we cannot read nobody's mind as much as you love them. You can't read their mind.
No.
You can't do it.
No.
So you don't know what they're thinking. You got two different children, and they think differently, and they just think differently. You got to understand that on the same subject. So,
Yes.
so that's so important
True.
that we communicate, guys. And a matter of fact, even the good book says Do not put your children to anger. You got to listen to them. You don't want them to get angry at you to leave and do all kind of crazy stuff. So that's important. So thank you so much for that wisdom for our young people today. So our key word today is communication and listening to our teenagers, folks. And we're here, ladies and gentlemen, with Raschell Harlingten on Power Connections. She's a transformational mentor. She's one of the best. Woo, I love it. To design your business, life, and or relationships, ladies and gentlemen, and even your family. I'm hearing too as well. Pretty cool there. I like that, Raschell. I love that part of it as well. So good deal. Well, Raschell, let's move to let's talk to the women a little bit. Well, let's talk to our adult women right now. What are some of the top areas our women need to hear from you today that you can help them with?
I think my word today is going to be collaboration. We need to support each other. And I can definitely, and I'm going to put a big shout out to two of my lovely collaborators, Raschell Atkins and Misty Riston. We came together and we have completely supported each other in growth in so many ways. And I can honestly tell you that what I have noticed in the last even 8 months is that it's not so much about, you know, what can you pay for my services? How can I help you? It's more about how can I support you so you can support me and we can help each other grow our brand, our personal business. Because when you help each other like that, you grow exponentially.
Yes.
Right? Because there's not that thing of what can I get from you? It's how can I support you and how can you support them? So I'd say especially to women and women entrepreneurs, get in those collaborations, support each other, because there'll be so much that'll come from it. You'll form beautiful friendships and those will last forever. Right?
Yes, well, yes.
So that's definitely important.
Oh, I love it. You know, ladies and gentlemen, she's talking about think like a corporation. You know, you guys got to think like a corporation. A corporation has multiple departments, if you will. Certain things I can't do. So I call on Raschell Harlingten and say, hey, can you do this for my client? And you refer that person to her in that area, right? I'm not going to try to be everything to everybody. You cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. So it's so important to collaborate. I love to hear that. I've been hearing that because we do a lot of women's conferences too, Raschell. And we hear that all the time, that women got to come together more. And when that happens, the earth is going to shake, man. So that's amazing. I believe the whole earth would start shaking a little bit. Say, oh, they came together. We better wake up. Everybody wake up. So that's powerful. So thank you so much for that area as well. Matter of fact, I wrote down here, do you have exploration call? What do you call it? Explore call? Do you have a place where people can call for, just say, hey, just give an exploration call for 15 minutes or so?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So on my website, I believe there is what I call a discovery call. So
discovery call, that's what I
you can definitely connect with me there. Send me an email and I'll set up a 15-20 minute call and we can figure out what what you need, how I can support you.
Absolutely. And
even if it's just the call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, guys. So anybody who has a podcast, guys, well, I'm gonna put this plug in here real quick. Anybody has a podcast, organization, a group, association, if you got a television network, guys, I want you to contact Raschell Harlingten so you can put her on your program, right? If she approves that. So I want you guys to call her for an appointment so you guys can bring her on your show. Okay, for everybody who's listening right now on all 10 platforms that we're sending this out on, if you have a group, association, platform, anything, podcast, of course, television, internet television, regular television, whatever, I want you to call Raschell Harlingten at her website. I'm gonna give it to you real quick. It's RaschellHarlingten.ca. Okay, RaschellHarlingten.ca. And if you guys need that information, say, Kev, shoot me her website. We'll be glad to do that for you as well. So guys, I want you to call her because she is excellent in this area. She is a transformational mentor. We need that. See, it's not about change, folks. It's about transformation. That's the key. I'm in a class now with Dr. Larry Carnes called the Power Transformation, Raschell, and it has changed my life tremendously. And I'll talk about that another time. But we are on Power Connections with my wonderful guest, Raschell Harlingten, ladies and gentlemen, out of Canada. We are excited about her being with us today. Once again, she's a transformational mentor. Just for those who may be joining us, she's here to help you design your business, life, and your relationships through her wonderful services and background. Now let's talk about the men, Rochelle. We got to help our men out, please, a little bit, my dear. Please, let's help the men out as well. Help us out. Give us a couple of points that men need help on, and what you think we need to do as well. Help us out a little bit. What can you do for the men today?
So I think for the men, it is very similar a little bit and I don't want them to take this the wrong way, but with
Right,
the children is
right.
the communication.
Yeah,
This has to be a two-way street
yeah,
between the
yeah,
men and the women. There has
yeah,
to be that open communication. And there also has to be, and I'm noticing this a lot
yeah,
on some of the panels that I do with Lachelle and Misty,
yeah,
is really understanding that men do have, those emotions that they want to share,
yeah,
but because of society
yeah.
says no, you can't, you
Right.
got to be strong, you got to be this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'd like to say no, BS. You
Right.
can show your emotions,
That's
because
right.
when you are more vulnerable, when you're
That's right.
open,
Yeah, yeah.
women start to say, you know what, I understand, you're speaking my
Absolutely.
language,
Yeah,
right? So I
absolutely.
think communication and being a little bit more emotional and understanding who you
Yeah,
are and how we can support you, because men are amazing. I mean,
yeah.
they are, you know?
We are. You are. Your women are too. You guys are
Yeah,
amazing. Both amazing. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
That's
So
powerful.
those, definitely those things. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That's been my observation over the years. I've been, 41 years in the radio, 40 years, almost 40 years in radio. But one of the things, that's why we started the Men Let's Talk Network, Rochelle, because men weren't talking. We weren't talking.
Right.
We were not
Right.
talking. Now, another thing I want you to hit on a little bit, how important privacy is between a man and a woman that are married or dating or, real close. Why are we going outside and talking to everybody else about what I should be talking to you about? Can
Mhm.
you talk about that a little bit? Because I think that's one of the keys. Guys, if you're married, women, if you're married, don't talk to everybody else about the issue. Talk to the person that you want to work the issue out with. Is that
Yeah,
important?
I think that absolutely. This is a great question, and definitely an amazing topic. And we could probably spend the whole afternoon
Yeah, we're gonna
talking
do
on
that.
that.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
But I think that this is something that's super important
Yeah,
because, again, I go back to the communication.
yeah.
If you have something that's going on
Mhm.
within that relationship, you have to have that open communication to sit down and discuss it with each other
Yes, yes.
and see where you can find, because remember, this is your partnership.
Hmm.
Now, if you were in a partnership with, say, you and I were in a partnership with
Right,
respect to business,
right,
I wouldn't go to be talking to someone else about how we could work our business. I would sit
right.
down and talk to you.
Yep.
So you're in a romantic relationship now. Sit down and talk with that person. Say, how can we make this work? What do we need to do?
Yeah,
Because it's great to get information, but
yeah,
you don't need other people's validation on whether or not the relationship is meant for you or meant for him.
yeah.
It's between two people, and
Right.
it's either going to work or it's not going to work. So
Absolutely. Oh, I love it,
definitely.
man. But man, and ladies and gentlemen, you gotta guess what, guys? I know I'll probably get some calls on this, but you gotta keep mom and dad out of that, man.
Oh,
You
yes.
talk to your wife,
Yes.
talk to your husband, keep your sister. I know your sister is the greatest sister on the planet. Your brother is the best in the world. You got the best girlfriend, friends, and your guys. You got friends. Talk to your wife, talk to your husband without everybody else knowing what's going on. Okay. I think that's so
Yeah.
important, guys, that you keep that private. And I know, don't get me wrong, you can seek counsel, of course, right? But don't put everything out there about your wife or your husband or your fiance or whatever.
Mm.
You gotta talk to the person. I think that's what's been missing. But guess what, Rochelle? We have not been really taught how to do that.
No, they
That's
don't.
part of the problem. I look back and say, well, nobody told me to do it that way. I've been looking at television and all this other stuff going on. You try to emulate what they're doing or what you've seen
Mhm.
in your home, what you've seen in your family. And sometimes it's not fully complete. I'll just say that. I just keep it like that. That's so important that we learn how to communicate. But again, if it's not taught, see, first of all, the three influences that we have is home, as you know, Rochelle, and we don't
Mhm.
get it. We don't always get it there. Some families do a great job. We don't get it at church, right? One of the areas that we have as well. And guess what? We definitely don't get it at school, right?
Mm-mm.
Those are the three areas that influence and outside of our community, as well. They don't teach you none of this, man.
Mhm.
Just incredible.
Yeah. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, there's a couple of things they don't teach you in school. They don't
Yeah.
teach you how to financially take care of yourself, and they don't
Oh,
teach you about the relationships that you're
oh,
gonna have, right? So those are important. They're
yep,
extremely important. And for
absolutely.
everybody out there, those are things you want to
Yeah.
look at and you want to definitely work on and find that at home.
Absolutely. I love it. Hey guys, this is Power Connections with my wonderful guest from up north there. That's north of the border of the United States, Raschell Harlingten. She is part of our network now. We're going to talk about that after we get off of here a little bit today, how we can collaborate and bring you back on in the future as well. Raschell, we're just excited about you being with us. Hey, if you're just joining us, she is a transformational mentor. I highly recommend you mentees get on the board there with her. She helps you design your business, your life, and your relationships, and so much more. She'll probably even help you find yourself.
Self-discovery.
Exactly, exactly. So we're excited about that. Well, guys, we've been having a great time. We've been talking about experiences. We've been talking to and helping the men, our teenagers, and our women today. You've got some great insight from Raschell Harlingten on what we should be doing today. I know I'm fired up today. She gave me some tips today that I can even use. But this is a daily thing, ladies and gentlemen. Every day is a journey. Every day is an adventure about that as well. But let's talk about, real quickly before we leave, let's talk about seasons, because I know you came from one season to another season of your life. Can you talk a little bit about how important the word season is to you, Raschell?
Mm. So I think when we put it in that sort of
Yeah,
dynamic, the
yeah,
season,
yeah.
you go through different seasons in your life
Yes,
in
ma'am.
order to give you the strengths
Yeah,
to move on. But again, it goes back to what you're recognizing. So if
right.
you're on that hamster wheel and you just keep playing the same, keep having the same season, it keeps
Yeah,
being,
right,
fall and
right,
winter and it never changes,
right.
then you need to take a look at what's going on in your life so you can
Yeah,
change and you can
yeah,
start to move into summer and spring. So
right.
really recognize what's going on in your life,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also don't discount anything that happened to you, because every single experience that you have in life, challenging and positive, all build you as a human being. They make you who you are,
Mm-hmm,
and they
mm-hmm,
give you that experience to transform your life into whatever you
mm-hmm.
want to be.
Mm.
So
I love it. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
you're
I was
welcome.
I was taking notes, man. Every time you talk, I'm taking notes. I love it. You know what I heard from Raschell, guys, is you gotta have courage.
Yeah.
You gotta have courage, guys, to make the change. Do not settle for less, right? Do not settle for less. I have a good friend of mine, Raschell. They have a women's organization called Women of Standard. Have a standard. They're not going to take nothing less than the standard, whatever that is for your life. But the other area, oh man, we got to talk about this later on too, Raschell. You got to have tenacity.
Yeah.
You really have to say, I ain't doing none of that. You're all crazy or whatever it takes. You got to stick to your guns on your happiness, on your joy, all of that. You got to have some tenacity. And in light of everybody doing opposite, you got to do the opposite. Whatever they're doing, you got to do the opposite of that if that's what you need to do. And last but not least, I heard from Raschell today is strength. You got
Hmm.
that inner strength. And I believe that's what you bring out through your wonderful program there that you have and services that you have. You'll bring out the strength because we can't, Raschell can't do it for you. We can't do it for you, guys.
No.
You have to bring out that strength. And that's our goal, is really to pull that strength out of you so you
Yeah.
can start using it. Isn't that powerful? So I love it. I love it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Power Connections with Raschell Harlingten. Wonderful, wonderful, awesome, awesome mentor. Matter of fact, you got to be my mentor now, I guess. Sounds like I love it. So we thank you so much. She's a transformational mentor, guys, to help design your life for business, for life, and for relationship as well. Well, I tell you what, Raschell, we always like to give our guests some final thoughts there. Any final thoughts as we get ready to close out this wonderful time with you today on Power Connections? Thank you so much. Anything you want to tell us, and give us some action items and some takeaways today for you?
Absolutely. I think one thing I'd like to say to everybody out there is every day is a new day. Every
Yes,
day is a new trajectory.
yes.
Every day is a new experience. So when you wake up tomorrow and you're lying there in your bed, know that you can create whatever you want in your life, the abundance, the prosperity, the relationships, because it's a new day. Past is gone, future hasn't been created. Know that you have the power within yourself.
Oh, I love it. Wow, that's powerful, guys. Y'all give her a hand clap if y'all can clap out there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rochelle. Hey, guys, I want you guys to take that understanding, know how important you are. You are more important than all the jewels, all the money, all the diamonds, all the gold, silver, platinum in the world, in the universe. You're more important than that. But guess what? You have to embrace that. So you guys have to say that. You have to believe who you are is who you are, and that you're a powerful individual. Whether you're a teenager, or whether you're a man or a woman, you are who you are, and you're most powerful. Matter of fact, I got a good friend of mine. He talks about you're a genius. Everybody's a genius. You are a genius. He said genius is common. We just don't know it. You are a genius. And Raschell Harlingten, you are a genius.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Your family's a genius. And we just got to be able to bring it out. It's amazing how much we are carrying around that we don't even know what we're carrying around. We got everything we need right here. It's just incredible when you think about it, folks. So guys, be strengthened today, be encouraged today. And Raschell Harlingten, we thank you so much for being on Power.
Oh, you're welcome.
Today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome. This is wonderful. Hey guys, we're gonna leave you with this. Hold on if you can, Raschell, we're gonna talk afterwards. We hang up here in a minute. But we are excited about you guys being with us. Hey, we want you guys to go to her website. That's RaschellHarlingten.ca. You guys can also just Google her name right there, up there in the middle. Where it is at? There it is up there. You see it, guys, up there. Just Google her name, or if you guys want me to send the website to you, let me know as well. I want you guys to, I want to encourage you to call her and invite her to your shows, right? Or to your platforms, or to your events as well. If you guys come up with events for the year, give her a holler and get your budget out, because it ain't free, okay? It ain't free. So make sure you invite her to talk to your organizations, groups, and associations, or even your employees, right? You can talk to your employees about things in this area. So we thank you so much. Wow, Raschell, we're excited, man. Just excited about you today. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Amen. All right, hey, we'll leave you with this real quick. Hey, Kevin Vaughan with my wonderful guest today. Always remember to outlove, outserve, and outforgive each other. We'll see you next time on Power Connection. Appreciate your time, guys. Thank you so much. Hey, guys, I want you guys, everybody who sees this, push this out on your network. I want everybody to know about Raschell Harlingten on our network. So push it out on your network as well, on all your platforms. And we appreciate you. I'll give you an advance thank you right now. Thank you so much for that. And keep it going, guys. And remember, there's nothing you can't do. You put your mind to it. All right, take care now. Bye-bye.